Thank you, Sean, and I just want to echo what Sean spoke about, making some time to come here tonight. I understand we're all volunteer coaches, and I've done it for a numerous amount of years at Bankstown, being a volunteer coach, so I'm really appreciative of you turning up tonight to, one, help the athletes get better, and two, hopefully pick up some drills that we do at Basketball New South Wales. A lot of the drills I'll do tonight, they're not in isolation. So I didn't want to come here and give you just general ball handling drills, general passing drills, general pivoting drills. I want to show you some drills we do at Basketball New South Wales where we incorporate both offense and defense. I think when we talk about skill development, we all know it's ball handling, passing, shooting, okay, pivoting. A story I like to tell is one of the very first things Steve Kerr did when he took over the Golden State Warriors was pivoting. And you're talking about the most elite players in the world working on pivoting. And I say that to all our junior athletes, if they can do it, they're getting paid millions of dollars a year, then why can't you do it for 5 minutes? And a big reason why probably us as coaches don't focus a lot of our time on pivoting, on ball handling, on passing in isolation is because it's boring for athletes. And we want them to have fun. We want them to enjoy the session so they come back next session. So how can we make pivoting, ball handling, passing fun? Well, we incorporate some level of competitiveness to it. So there's defense, there's scoring systems, there's penalties. So a lot of the drills I'll do tonight will be based around that. If you have any questions, like Sean said, please stop me because I'll probably get on the tangent and just keep coaching and I'll forget to ask. I apologise. But if you do have a question, yell out, I'll stop. We'll give the boys a bit of a breather and please ask a question. So to start with, this is a nice little ball handling drill, passing drill, hand-eye coordination drill that we do at most sessions, and we add some what we call proprioception into it. So proprioception in Latin kind of means one's own. So knowing your body within the space that you play in on the court. And that can help with deceleration, it can help with agility, change of direction, it can minimise our risk of injury in a game. So if I'm jumping for a rebound and I come down and land on one foot, if I get hit, I have better balance. All right, so we add a little bit of fun element to it where it's a competitive nature, just to get their mind active and engaged and ready to train. So if we can get the boys up, please. You're going to pair up. Everyone's got a basketball. Up we get. Let's go. Over here. Run. You're going to spread out around the half court with a partner. You're going to be about 1 metre apart. 1 metre. That's a pretty far metre. Jack, I'm pretty sure 1 metre is a bit closer than that. Ramos, you can just sit down. Thank you for participating. So the athletes, you're just going to tip the balls back and forth. So you're going to alternate whilst you tip, and you're going to hop on your right foot while you're doing that. Ready? Go. Hop on your right foot. A little bit further apart, Jack. Keep it nice and high. Fingertips, fingertips. So we're just adding some hand-eye coordination into the drill. Change legs. Go. Fingertips, nice and high, nice and high. Good, hold there. So hold there. So now we're going to go side to side, okay, east and west. One ball is going to stay high, one ball is going to stay low. All right, ready? So one stays fingertip high, one stays fingertip low. Go. East to west, side to side, hops, side to side. So now they're trying to do two things at once. Really difficult for some athletes, not for everyone. One low, one high. Change. Let's go side to side, hop, side to side. Drop your hips, boys. Get low. All right, hold there. So we do a number of other drills incorporated into that. And what I will do at the end of the session, tomorrow or the next day, I'll put together like a drills booklet and we can send it out to you, just a variety of different drills that we do. Next drill is a passing drill. So one player is going to have both basketballs. Now to make it a little bit easier, I just want to get white line there, white line here. And everyone else is going to pair up along these white lines, face each other. Quick, let's go. So we're just working on some partner passing whilst ball handling as well. Person on this, the people on this side have both basketballs, please. So what's going to happen You're just going to be in a stance, so bum down, like we're sitting on a toilet seat. Our nose, knees and toes are in a straight line. So back straight, there's no arch in our back. All right, we're going to pound the balls alternating. The receiver, you're going to have your hands up, so there's a target for them to throw to, and you're going to tell them which hand to pass the ball with. I want you to do a ratio of 3 weak hand to 1 strong hand. So if you don't know which hand your partner is, ask now. Excellent. Communication, something they're learning to do. All right, so you're going to pound the balls nice and hard. You'll tell them which hand to throw it to. Hands are up, so you're a receiver ready to catch and shoot, play the basketball game, you're a player. And then when you catch it, you're going to throw it straight back to that hand they threw it with. If you feel like you guys are too close, take a step back as a receiver. Ready? Go. Pound it. Pound the balls. Come on. Hard, hard, hard. Let's go. Get a burn. Let's get a burn. Eyes up. Eyes up. Right, hold there. Flip the balls. Boys, take a few steps back to the red line. So now to add a degree of difficulty, to progress the drill, the receiver, you're going to hold your hand in a different place. Okay, so they've got to have their eyes up. You may hold it up high, and when they say left, you've got to throw the left, or the pass, left-handed to where their hand is, target hand is. Ready? Pound the balls. Go. Be in a stance, bum down, back straight. Nose, knees and toes in a straight line. Nice and hard, nice and hard. Ramos, pass that ball. Let's go, let's go. Nice and hard. Right, hold there. Flip the balls over. Now we're going to add in another degree of difficulty. You're going to do a dribbling move when you receive the basketball back. So I'm going to alternate, I'm going to pound together, whichever one you want to do, throw it, receive it back, got to do a dribbling move. So you might go a double crossover, you might go between the legs crossover, you might go between the legs behind the back, whatever it might be. You can't do the same move twice in a row though. Now coaches, as you're coaching this, you can go around and test how their stance is. So right now, what's your name? Miguel, you're going to be in a stance for me. All right, get a basketball because hands off. All right, we can just push them at the hip, all right, to see how their stance is. If they're falling over, then they're not wide enough, they're not low enough, they're not activating their glutes. All right, ready? Pound the balls. Go. Pound, throw it, let's go. Throw it straight back, do a dribbling move. Go, come on. Nice and quick, nice and quick. Throw it back. That was a weird one. Do one you do in a game. Work your handles, work your handles. Throw a chest pass back, Jack. No bounce passes. Let's go. Go. Come on. Good, hold there. Switch the balls. Right, so the last progression I like to do with this drill, let's just move down a little bit, please, for me, just so we've got a bit more room. Hold the basketballs. So the receiver, you're going to slide defensively left or right. Now I want you to change it up. So you might go 2 slides right, you might go 1 slide left, then a couple of slides right, 3 slides left. The ball handler, you've got to mirror what they do. So then it's teaching them to get their head up, it's teaching them to defensive slide, and it's teaching them to handle the basketball. Then maybe throw it at the same time. Now we know you guys struggle enough as it is to do 2 things at the one time. So we're going to add in a complex kind of situation, something that you may face in the game. Right? Got to handle the ball, got to know what the time is on the clock, got to know what offense you're running, got to see where the defense is defensively. So multiple things can happen in the game, and our thought process, decision making needs to speed up in that situation. Right? Ready? Do we know what we're doing? So you're defensive sliding, you'll mirror as they slide. Same thing, throw it when they say which hand, throw it back, do your dribbling move. Now you may be doing it when you're sliding. So let's see how good your handles are. Ready? Go. Move, 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 move. Mirror them. So throw it straight back. Do your dribbling move. Ramos. Pound it. Let's go, let's go, let's go. Nice and hard, nice and hard. All right, hold there. Hold there, boys. All right, so I would usually do this drill maybe for 10 minutes. Okay, nice, quick, sharp. That proprioception drill we did at the start, that would be a warm-up that athletes would have to do before they take the court. Because as we know, we only have an hour and a half to do the session. And what I used to do back when I played under 12 basketball, we'd do a warm-up, we'd stretch for 15 minutes, we'd be cool by the time we get up and stretch, and then we've got to warm up again. All right, so how can we get the most out of practice? All right, we want to get more skill out of the skill, more drill out of the drill, more practice out of practice. And this is one way we can do that. So make sure they're warmed up, ready to go when we hit the court. This is only a 10-minute drill. I know I said I wasn't going to do much in isolation, but this is pretty much all we do in isolation. Next thing we're going to do is a ball handling drill when we add some defense and we add in a pivot. So I'll get 2 up. Let's just go, we'll use this center circle here. Who's the 2 best ball handlers, just so the drill looks good? It's a good start. Who's the 2 best ball handlers? Come on, boys, let's go. 2 up, quick, over here. Tim? Yep, and Julian. All right, Julian, you're here defensively. Tim, you got the ball over here offensively. You're going to turn and face him. Right, so Tim, face him. Tim's aim is to get inside this half circle. All right, so if we were to draw a line through the middle, you've got to try to get inside the half circle. Julian must have ball pressure at all times. Okay, he can't sag off and just cheat the drill. You have 2 retreat dribbles and 2 dribbles to get inside the half circle there. All right, so offensively, this is where we want to try to create time and space. Now, in a real game of basketball, if you created enough time and space here, let's say they were full court trapping, and I retreat, and you gave me enough space, what could you do? This is in the full court. You could attack, good, you get a running start. As you retreat dribble and they're stepping off, what else might you be able to do? Yeah, pass over and see an open teammate. That's why I want you to have enough ball pressure in here, so he can't just do that every time. All right, so 2 retreat dribbles, and then 2 dribbles forward to get inside the half circle. Now just take a little step, because we want it to work first time, so it looks like it's a good drill. Ready? Ball pressure, go. All right, hold there. So 3 dribbles to get inside the half circle, 2 dribbles back on the retreat, not too bad. Now when we break down this drill, 1, we want to retreat to beat, and 2, we don't want our retreat dribbles to be north, south, east, west. Because if they're south in this situation, it's really easy for the defender to close out. It's an easier angle for them to close out at you. So if we retreat more at like 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock, 7 o'clock, all right, as we retreat at that angle, now if they run directly at me, I can go straight by them and attack their hip. If they close out at an angle and try to take away that straight line drive, I cross back over the way I came and get back inside the half circle. Do we all see that? So that's something I'm going to challenge them on being able to do. So we can go down that end, so 2 up to that end, and you guys just rotate in and out. So you can work this half circle here. Everyone know what we're doing? We're okay with this? Ready? Give us a demonstration. Go. Hold on. Now if that's ball pressure, yeah, okay. We're not playing banks down here. Ready? Stance. Go. Retreat, get out. Good start. Go. Let's go. 2 up. Retreat, angles, attack, ball pressure. Let's go. Come on, boys. Get in the stance. Be ready to go. Let's go. Retreat, dribble, retreat. At an angle. Go at an angle. Next 2. Now you guys can go that charge circle there if you want. It's up to you. Let's go. Hold on. Ball pressure. Get up and ball pressure. Come on, retreat. Eyes up. All right, hold there. Freeze. So, most athletes' first movement here is forward because it's a habit. They just go head down, they try to dribble and try to get past someone. In a one-on-one scenario, yeah, that might work if you're playing the playground. But now we're playing a 5-on-5 situation, we're playing against better competition. They potentially could trap us, a good defensive team. if you just go head down, you'd probably get subbed out. All right, because coaches know the best way to beat pressure is by what? Dribbling or passing? Passing. Okay, unless you're Russell Westbrook, who can get through everyone, which no one is just yet. Okay, retreat, retreat, eyes up. If they close out hard, you beat. Okay, so it's retreat to beat. Everyone all right with that? We retreat where? South, angles, angles. All right, now we're going to progress the drill. Okay, so the progression is 2 defenders, 1 offensive player. So now if we get another defender up for me, now it becomes a lot harder for this player to beat the 2 offensive players. So creating more time and space is very important. I'll give you 3 bounces to get around and to get inside this half circle. Now the rate of succession here is probably going to be pretty low, but it's a challenge and that's what you want. You want kids to fail doing it because then their motivation to improve is going to get higher and better. The best way for athletes to improve is to fail. All right, and that's how their motivation ticks in and that's how we get that. Ready? 2 retreat, at angles. Let's go. All right, hold there. Not too bad. But what did he do before he dribbled the basketball? He pivoted. All right, so excellent. So as he's pivoting, he's assessing. Where's my gaps? Where can I look to go? All right, he's pivoting. And when he's pivoting, he's not only doing our, and we've all done this, under 12 basketball. I've done it, learned to play. Kids in a straight line, the baseline. We run, we come to a jump stop and we go. And then we run again. All right, we very rarely ever do those pivots in a game. So Kobe Bryant, maybe the best there ever was at pivoting, all right, ever will be. When he pivots, it's balls up here, balls down low to here. All right, he's taking and making all this space and time, or creating that time and space. And there was about 4 fouls in there that we didn't call. And because he's doing that, hands are reaching in, there's fouls happening. Give me one more demonstration. Ready? Pivots, pivots. Look to split it if you can. Hands out. Retreat, retreats, and then go. Look to attack. All right, hold there. Not too bad. Again, very tough. At a younger age, I would probably give them the whole key to work in. So we'd start maybe here at the free throw line. You got to go from free throw line to baseline, and you're working within the key. So how about we do that to make the drill, again, look like it's actually a good drill to do. All right, so you guys are going to go down that end, and you guys are going to start this end. Ready? So 2 defense, 1 offense. Let's work our retreats, pivots, pivots, pivots. Retreat, retreat, retreat. Get out there, get out there. Attack. Ah, not bad. Create time and space. Here we go. Next 2. Retreat, pivots, pivots. Just tries to bully his way through it. You're watching too much of the NBA, Ramos. Retreat, dribble, retreat to beat. Retreat to beat. Pivots, good. Remember, pivot at angles, pivot at angles. All right, freeze there. So we get the idea. Next progression. Now we make this a 2-on-2 situation. So we have a scoring system in here. You get 2 points. Now it depends what you value here. I want to value in this situation your ability to pivot, your ability to retreat dribble, and your ability to beat the trap off the dribble. All right? If you value in your team's poor at passing, value that more in this drill. So it's 2-on-2. So 1 offense with the ball, 2 defense, 1 offense. So the offensive player's here. Now the only thing this offensive player can't do is pass the ball straight away. You can only pass it off a retreat dribble. So he may only do 1 retreat dribble and throw it. That's fine. So now you've got to play with your hands, active hands, and you've got to create enough time and space. And you might add rules like first team to 5, each successful pass is a 1. If there's a deflection, it's minus a point. Minus 2 points maybe, because a deflection in a game could be a turnover. And we want to value possession of the game. The team with the most possessions usually what? If I play Michael Jordan one-on-one and I have 100 possessions and he has 1 possession, I'll probably win. All right? I'm not saying I will, but I'll probably win. All right? So possession is king. Ball is king. That's $100. You're not going to give $100 to someone else, are you? All right? Ready? Little demo, Jack. Pivots, pivots. Retreat. Get out there, get out there. All right, deflection. And be real critical on the deflection. If they hit the hand, deflection. All right? Switch it over. Give me a little demo. I don't care how you switch it over, figure it out. This is something they need to learn to do as players as well. Pivots, deflection. So now you can progress it and add in, say, okay, what can we do there, Ramos? What can you do offensively to trick the defense? Fake it, good. So fake a pass to make a pass. If you're dribbling the ball, you see a lot of great players do this with the ball. As they retreat, what might they do? Yeah, hesitate. Okay, retreat, hesitate, and then go. Beat them. Read the defense. Decision making comes into play here. Right? Demo, go. Let's go, boys. Go through it, then we'll move on. Here we go. You guys are going to go D the whole time? Go on offense. Yeah, tell them bad luck. Let's go. Retreat. Get out there. Not a bad pass. Retreat, get out there. Nice, good. Oh. 2 bounces, probably not recommended. Here we go. Yeah, well, that's probably a steal in a game. Good. All right, hold there. Hold there, boys. So that's pretty tough. Now, you guys are youth league, right? Most of you, okay? And they found that tough to be able to do that. So a way to make it easier, because we do want athletes to succeed. If they don't succeed, they're probably not going to come back. All right, so we want to challenge them, but give them some area of a chance to win, so then they can come back to the game of basketball. You don't want them to leave to go netball or something like that. All right, so you can go 1 defender, 1 offense, 1 offense. So it's now 2-on-1. Now, Piggy in the middle, this is pretty much. But we've added some retreat dribbles, all right, some rules to the game. Everyone okay with that? All right, boys, get a quick drink. Quick, go. Hold the basketballs. Are there any questions about those drills? Excellent, we'll move on. Can you get that jumper for me, Ramos? Come out here, defensive Maravich drill. Irvin, get a basketball for me. Yeah. So you boys can just sit down and watch this one, because you probably don't want to do it anyway, because it's very tough. So call this the defensive Maravich drill. All right, so it started off being an offensive drill only. So within that centre circle, you'd work on your ball handling. Okay, you can't go outside the centre circle, just forward, retreat, between the legs, behind the back, change your pace, whatever. All right, we've all probably done this before. Now we add in a defender. So we're working on the defensive aspect to it as well. Spoke about before, we try to stay out of drills in isolation. We want to incorporate some sort of offense and defense. So here you're working on pivots, ball handling, decision making, guarding your man, right? Defensive positioning. So defensively, we'll talk about first, and then we'll readdress the offensive side of it. So you want to be wider and lower than the offensive player. Your nose is to their chest roughly, and the number one thing we want to have on defense is ball pressure. And in order to have ball pressure, you need to be reasonably close. So you're 1 arm's length away. We want to try to have a hand above the ball, so if they go into their shot, we can hopefully knock it away. All right, our other hand, and this is dependent on how you want to do or how you want to coach, and that's fine. Sometimes we have it as a deflection hand. Sometimes our other hand's there as well, like we're a boxer. Okay, we have both hands there to try to mirror and deflect the ball. All right, I'm a fan of that because it's more ball pressure. All right, we want our athletes to have ball pressure. Put this player under pressure so they're less likely to make a good decision. So you're wider, you're lower, stance. As Irvin makes his move, Ramos's job is to stay in front of the ball. So you want to over-exaggerate this so his nose is in line with the ball. And if there's any sort of contact, we call this a chest bump. So he throws his hands off, because what do referees like to do if there's contact? Yeah, call a foul. Okay, I don't want to abuse the refs too much here. All right, so throw your hands back, have a little jump back while staying in a stance. All right, so we get clean hit in the chest, throw our hands back, jump back. Now, if you're to retreat dribble, what's the number one thing we want to have on defense?
Pressure.
Ball pressure, all right? So that means you need to regain ball pressure. Now, that's the most common mistake athletes will do. They'll get hit, they'll throw their hands back, they'll regain pressure, but their hands will stay here. Number one thing we need to have? Ball pressure. So our hands need to go back from here, back to on the ball, all right? You're just working on ball handling. Beat them, don't be predictable. Don't go left, right, be unpredictable. You can only work inside an area of the charge circle. The center circle. Ready? Give me a demonstration. Go. Move your feet, move your feet. All right, hold there. So Ramos isn't lower than the offensive player. So we talk about activating our glutes, being in a stance, bum down. So it's like he's sitting on a toilet seat. We want to over-exaggerate your stance here. Because in a game, athletes always take shortcuts. So we over-exaggerate the drills in practice, so then in a game you do it correctly, right? And you want to be in a stance. You want to get a real burn here. Now, as he goes one way, we want to be able to step with the, come back, just don't dribble it, just step that way. We want to be able to step with our lead foot. So whichever way he's going, our right foot, if he's going to our right, is our lead foot. So we want to step out, so it's big to bigger, and we get in front. Right? Same if he was going to the left, step with our left foot, instead of stepping with our back foot first. We okay with that? One more demonstration again. Dance, go. Big to bigger. Move your feet, move your feet. Chest bumps, chest bumps, chest bumps. Good. All right, not too bad. Now, you can do this in the whole court. All right, I'm just using that as a demo of the area and the boundary. You can go, because there used to be a half circle here back in the day. Boys, you probably wouldn't know about it. All right, there'd be a circle here and we just spread out. The progression to that drill, and this is where it gets really, really tough, is the defender holds a towel behind or a jumper or a t-shirt behind their head and their hands are up. And this is really hard. So the way we do this is we usually go 30 seconds, change over, 30 seconds, change over, 30 seconds, change over, 30 seconds. And then we add in the towel. And most of the time the athletes are getting a good burn by this stage. Jack's done this before, does it hurt? Yeah. Okay, so it does hurt, all right? So we're in a stance, bum down. Now we're playing with moving our feet. So most athletes will just kind of bring the towel around to here or jumper. Make sure they've got L shape in their arms the entire time. Ready? Stance, bum down. Be strong in the hips. Ready? Go. Move your feet, move your feet. Chest bumps. Good, good. Jump back on contact. Work your handles, work your handles. Stay low, stay low. Right. Not too bad, okay? If you want to progress that to the next level, play one-on-one off it. So the way we play one-on-one, ball's here. Irvin, you're at the wing. Ramos, you're at the elbow. Now it's one shot only because he can't grab the basketball, all right? Scoring system might be a win to you defensively is if you turn him once. If you make him go from left to right or right to left, you give him one turn, that's a win to you. All right, a win to you would be a straight line drive for a layup. You want to be proactive, so we move early and quickly. So as soon as you see me put the ball up to my shoulder or see me start to dribble it, you want to start to move. Most athletes are reactive on this, and that's why they get beat. Because by the time the ball gets thrown, you're running one way, momentum's going one way, and then Irvin goes straight past and gets a layup. This is really tough, okay? In the pros, we had a few people with a bloody nose, okay? But it's not going to happen here. Here we go. Ready? Go. Move your feet, move your feet. Good. All right, not too bad. Now, he obviously can't contest at the end there, and that's fine. But the fact that he had to pivot a couple of times, that's an excellent job defensively. Let's switch over. You get to have a chance playing defense. Bum down. So get up to the elbow. Your left hip wants to face me. Where's your left hip? Yeah. That's right. There you go. Okay, stance. Trinity? Morris would be upset. Ready? Go. Close out. Move your feet, move your feet. So he went from like an L to a Y here. Okay? But that was a pretty good job, right? Well done, boys. Go get a drink. So we call that the defensive Maravich drill. And after our little ball handling warm-up, hand-eye coordination drill, we'll get straight into that because I want the athletes to hurt within the first 10 minutes of practice. And that, I kid you not, gives them a burn and they don't like it. All right, they do like it, but it's a good competitive drill. They work on their ball handling and it's one-on-one just without scoring at a rim. Any questions regarding that one? All right, give me 2 people up, please. Excellent, Jack. And maybe another big. Just for this drill, trust me. All right, so the next one we're going to do is what we call walling up. So we'll talk about both the offensive side and the defensive side. So Jack's going to start with the ball inside the charge circle and he's going to have his back to the basket. Your name is?
Jack.
Okay. All right, this is going to be fun. So what's your last name?
Armstrong.
All right, Armstrong is going to have his back to the basket, start outside the charge circle. All right, Jack's going to say right or left. And when he says right or left, he's going to throw the ball that direction. Just a little underarm throw. All right, you might let it bounce once, that's fine. Now, as that happens, the game is active. The game's alive. So as soon as Jack says which way, Armstrong's going to pivot. So if he says to his right, Armstrong pivots to his right and catches it. From that situation, if you feel like you've got enough time and space, you can shoot it. Right? Jack's aim defensively here is to take away Armstrong's time and space. Right? And the way we do that is by getting up closer. Now, there's no dribbles to start with, just so they get the hang of walling up and being able to pivot and guard the moving foot. All right, and then we'll add, the progression is we'll add a dribble. So what Jack, defensive Jack, wants to do is build a wide wall, so his feet are apart, and build a high wall, so his hands are up. Right? Most athletes, when they get hit, they bring their hands down. Most athletes, when they're defending, they'll have one hand in here, right? And to the referee on the baseline, they see hands in, foul. And fair enough, right? So we want to build a wide wall and a high wall. So we're nice and close, taking away time and space. Offensive Jack can pivot. So you pivot however you want. You've established your pivot foot. We want to work on offensively change of timing. So shot fakes, pivots to be able to create time and space to score. Don't just catch and shoot it, right? One of the biggest strengths or words of advice I can give the bigs inside the key is using change of timing, so using pivots. So they're going to shot fake, pivot, try to create time and space and score. Jack's job defensively is to take away time and space, and to do that, you want to guard the pivoting foot, guard the moving foot, sorry. Right, so as we pivot and move, you want to be able to guard that foot. Now, if he steps backwards, that's fine, you just close the gap. If he goes a step forward, guard the moving foot. Now, some coaches might say jam the pivot foot, and that's fine. All right, but we like to guard the moving foot. Give us a demonstration from the start. You know what you're doing? Excellent. Ready? Right, go back. Good, get it. So, on the pivots, great job. All right, stay low when you pivot, because the most common mistake athletes will do when they pivot is they stand up. When they stand up, all Jack needs to do is get closer, and when there's a bit of pressure when you're standing up, you generally fall back. All right, and then it's a decision that's not probably going to come off well. All right, you might travel, you might turn it over. All right, so stay low on your pivots. As we pivot, so pivot to where you were, good, and then pivot back. What did defensive Jack not do? Yeah, step forward, okay? Take away his time and space. So great job creating time and space, poor job taking away time and space, okay? The progression we do now, because as soon as Jack shot it, what did both of them stop doing? Yeah, they stopped playing, okay? So something we like to do is we call this multiple scores. So if you score once, you can get the rebound and score again, get the rebound and score again. And when we do this drill, we might say first person to make 5 baskets. So we encourage the offense not to always think miss shot, but to always go for the ball, all right, to go for the rebound. We also tell on this player, even if the ball does go in, you better block out, all right? The way we block out in this situation, a few different types of blockouts we can do. We can just pivot like we've always been taught or all been taught, or as the shot goes up, because the ball and we're in such close proximity to the ring, we might just get an arm bar in the chest and then go and get the ball, all right? Catch one hand, pull in 2. depending on what age group you're coaching. But I'd teach two-hand catch for beginners, for under 12s, 14s, and so on. Give me a little demonstration. So we're going multiple scores now, so you can get the rebound, Jack, and score again. Pardon? No dribble. Ready? Pivots, 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 good. Hands, hands, build a high wall. Pivots, good. All right, not bad. Okay, flip it. Now the progression is you are allowed to dribble it. Only one bounce. So defensively, this makes it a little bit tougher now because it's decision making. So as I throw it, I might go right, Jack will pivot. I have a hand here, so he can't go straight into his shot. If I get too close, he'll just pivot, take a dribble around me and score. Right, so it's about having some space, having ball pressure. If he goes into his shot, then obviously contest, don't jump. All right, contest, and then block out. Now if he does take a dribble and goes one way, don't push me over, just go, take a dribble. Now we can wall up, wide wall, high wall. He can't dribble again, take away time and space. Give us a demonstration, please. Stance, outside the charge circle, Jack, don't cheat. Actually, because he's got a dribble, let's start him a little bit further out. Right, it's outside the green. There, you can go as close as you want. Good. Hands. Multiple scores. See how we kind of stopped playing there? All right, great job. Your right hand was down though, could have been a foul. We know what refs are like. Ready? Flip around. I've got to stop paying out referees. Get outside the green half circle, please. Netball third. Go. Or circle. Pivots, pivots. All right, rewind. Go back to where you had the ball, Jack. Back offensively at the very start before you took a dribble. So Jack's stance was too upright and too close. And that then hurt him on that dribble. So if you're going to be that upright, I mean, you know the offensive play better than what we should because you're scouting them when you're sitting down playing the game. Right? When you're on the bench, do you watch the person you're going to mark against? Yeah, I always do. Always do. You see what their attributes are? All right, good. Okay? It's a smart player. So have some time and space. Don't be too close. If you are, don't stand up out of stance. Okay. All right? Always stay in a stance. The only time you're not is when you're sitting down. Okay. All right? Ready? Give me a demonstration. Yeah, go from the start. One bounce now. Go. Good. Keep playing. Get after it. All right, good. So we want athletes to keep playing, have that competitive edge to their game. So another progression I would make is no out of bounds. Because most of the time, and how many times we all seen it, ball's rolling out, Jack runs after it, I just kind of leave it here, Jack comes from nowhere, and he grabs it, tips it, throws it back in, they get a basket. All right, you see it in rugby league all the time on the end line, someone's about to leave it, and someone jumps out, grabs it, throws it back in, and score a try. All right, so that's a progression we can add to the drill. Just make sure we compete, get after it. So give me one more demonstration. Good, not bad. All right, boys, go get a drink. So we've spoken about the finish and how we want to guard when someone picks the ball up inside the key. So walling up. Now we're going to speak about the processes and the steps behind that or before that leading to that situation. So I want two other players up, please. Guards who can kind of dribble the ball. You're going to get up and then step back down again. Have confidence. Julian and Peter. All right, so Peter's here offensively. Now, we're going to work on finishing to start with. So it's more of an offensive drill than a defensive drill. So, Julian, you're going to start beside Peter. All right. His job is to take away your what? Drive. Yep, but time and space. Okay? So if he's trying to take away your time and space, you want to create time and space. Good. Okay, so you want to start by leaning into him, getting him a little bit off balance. All right, and he's going to do the same to you. Okay? This is teaching athletes to get comfortable with contact, because we all know basketball is a contact sport, all right? And most athletes, I'm not speaking ill here, but most female athletes are afraid of contact, all right? So we want to get them used to contact as quickly and as early as possible. Now, not in the fact of physical and throwing punches and slaps and whatnot, but get used to it. So we're both in a stance. Just to give the offensive player the best chance of scoring, you're just going to go when you want to go. Okay? Good. Rewind. Quick. Now we've got to help them figure drills out. Now as a coach, you've got to be comfortable with the mess. So if you're going to let them think, and we call this experiential learning, so learning by doing, you've got to be ready for them to kind of go, I don't know the answer. All right, it's going to take time, but at least they're learning. So right now, for you to get a layup, what do you need to cut off? His what?
His lead foot.
Yeah, good. Then what?
And just get in front of his body.
All right, excellent. So let's say you and I at the free throw line here, and we're just walking the street, and we're walking down to the baseline. Let's walk. Ready? Straight away, what happened?
Stop.
Yeah, okay. So I cut off your path. So in this situation, as you go, you may have to lean in. Now you see NBA players do this all the time and they're excellent at it. The change of timing, right? Change of their path. So as I go, I might lean in to create time and space. Now as I lean out, if they then take away my time and space again, I might lean back in again to create time and space. All right, ready? Now if you can just beat him with pure speed, beat him with pure speed. Nice, good job. All right, rewind. Were you clapping yourself or? Ready? Good job though. Switch around. All right. Now that's the one thing I probably wouldn't allow them to do, the fakes. All right. Now to add the degree of difficulty up, you say go. Ready? Go. Good. Okay. Now what shot do we want here? Layup, okay? Highest percentage shot in the game. If you get fouled, free throw shot. Highest percentage shot in the game. Mid-range contested two, not a high percentage shot in the game. All right, ready? All right, go back. Quick, ready? Last point, then we'll progress it. So now when I've given the defense the cue to say when to go, they always cheat. All right, they always go as they step. All right, so a coach once said the hardest thing to do in basketball is change stance. So in order for you to get out of the start high, finish, start low, get low, finish high, whatever it might be, how do you want to start? You want to start in a what? Yeah, but the hardest thing to do is change stance. So in order for you not to change stance, you want to start in a stance. Okay, so right now you're in a stance, correct?
Yeah.
If I say go, what do you do before you start dribbling the ball? You get what? Low. So in order to take away that change of stance, start low. So ready, we're both in a stance, low. Okay, and you want to engage your feet, ready to play. You ever seen a sprinter sprint? All right, so they're back foot, heel over their toe, they're engaging their calf, they're long in the back leg, so take it back further. All right, if you're uncomfortable here, that's fine, get lower. Take this foot back further. All right, so our heel is over our toe, we're engaging our calf, we're ready to play. All right, our knees to our chest, we're ready to move. You ready? There you go. All right, not too bad. Okay, so let's rewind. So that was more an offensive drill for athletes to get comfortable to create time and space and finish and score. Now again, we can do this. You got 10 athletes at a practice. Now let's be honest, we never get 10 athletes at a practice at reps. We usually get 6, 7, 8. Do it both ends. They get a good burn out of this. If they get beat, there might be a quick penalty of 3 defensive slides. So you've got some sort of competition in there. All right. Now defensively, we're going to add there, I guess, introduce them to how we want to guard the drive. All right, now this is guarding the drive after we've kind of gotten beat. So I'm not going to talk about being level off, right? I'm going to open you up just a little bit, right? So we're going to kind of give them a drive. Now, be a little bit closer. So we've given them a lane to the basket. Now, same thing as before, you want to be ready to play. So heel over toe, engage your calf, chest onto knee, ball at your hip, ready to push it out and drive. Defensively, we call this side running. So to do a demo, give me 2 athletes up, please. 2 quick athletes up. That's all right, good. I like your confidence.
We're equally paced, that'll do.
That's right. So both you are here at the sideline. Now I like doing this demo just to show athletes. It's like that whole, you dribble the ball from baseline to halfway, and we have 3 athletes here and you've got to pass the ball up. Now every time the pass wins, so that tells athletes, well, the ball travels up the court faster by passing than dribbling. So similarly here, we're going to go, Jack has to, who's faster? Just hurry up because I need this dribble. All right, Jack's faster, okay. You better win this, Jack. So you're going to turn, face each other, take a little step back, sorry, don't forget to get close. You're going to defensive slide to the sideline and back, defensive slide. Jack's going to do what we call side running. So he's going to run forward and he's going to show his chest, hips and hands to the player he's guarding, or more or less to the referee, so they know there's no foul. So you can side run. Now, Jack, if you don't get this right, you're running the next SPP session. All right, you're going to side run over and back. Ready? Go. And back, Jack. Now, that was a close one, Jack. All right, but as we could tell, side running is faster. All right, and if you watch any NBA games now, the offense has gotten that good and that quick that defensively we need to catch up. We can't keep sliding anymore. Now, I'm not saying there's no such thing as sliding, but in a situation where we get beat, we can't slide. It's very difficult. So how do we help the defense? We provide them with something else they can do that can counter and hopefully beat the offense, or at least catch up to the offense. Because we'll never catch up to offense. If we do, someone once said, it'll be like soccer. All right, it'll be 1-1 at the end of the game. So be closer. You're going to side run, and you're going to try to score, and then we'll talk about what we do after that. All right, not a bad demo. Come back. So what do we speak about offensively, what you want to do? Create what? Good. So we want to keep coaching the offense and defense. We just spent about 10 minutes then talking about how you can create time and space. And the very first thing they do is when we add defense and we make it a different drill, is they forget what they just did. All right? Same thing in a timeout. When you've got a timeout, what happened? You draw a play up and we come out, players have got no idea what's going on. All right? So you make us look bad. Don't make us look bad. Switch around. So we're going to talk about what the defense does in this situation. If I'm defending you and I make no contact, and all of a sudden I go like this, what's the ref going to probably call? Foul, all right, and rightly so. So it's about gradually making contact and slowly putting pressure or having contact on the offense to slightly, gradually move them out and away from a straight line drive. We don't want to just no pressure, no contact, and then hit. All right, we want to have that spacing. We want to gradually make that contact. The other thing we don't want to do is just hold the ball. As they're driving, you do not want to cut the offensive player off. Because offense are getting pretty good now in Euro stepping, spinning, right, and going back the other way and scoring. So it's about making them shoot the toughest shot possible. Now remember, great offense will always beat great defense. As coaches, we live with that. But what we don't want to do is give him an uncontested shot. So it's, as he goes, just hold it. It's just stay on their hip, show our hand to the ref, because refs love that being a foul. And the shot we want them to shoot is a long arm contested shot. Now, if that goes in, that's great offense. Ready? Give it to them, demonstration. I don't care, you guys figure it out. All right, excellent. Come back. So, remember we spoke about your stance. Your nose wants to be in line with what? Chest. Correct. Very good point. But just thinking about you right now, if there was no offense here, your nose wants to be in line with what? Knees and toes. If you're doing this, you're off. Yeah, so as soon as they go past you, you're going to fall over. All right, so if you're going to start leaning in, you've got to get closer. Right? You can have an arm bar here to start with, arm bar. Right? But then as soon as he starts dribbling, bang, hands off. Right? Side run, go. Lean in. Hands. All right, come back. Now you need to be quicker, right? So be quicker. Ready? All right, better. Let's go back, switch over. Hands up. All right, great example there. Hands on, ref calls a foul. All right, it's about showing your hands, especially in this area. Especially in this area. All right, as soon as the hand's on, foul. All right, so get your hands off, show your hands to the ref, chest bumps, move your feet. Go, show your hands. Good, good. Stay low, bum down. Wall up, wall up. All right, tell me, what did you do wrong there?
I moved away when you pivoted.
Yeah, and that, again, you're going to be reactive on those pivots. We understand that as coaches. So you're going to be slow to react to his pivots. That's fine. Your main job is to guard his what? Moving. Guard his moving. When he gets to foot, good. And then when he pivots back and looks to shoot it, when you do a shot fake, why do you do a shot fake?
Get him jumping.
Yeah, so when he does a shot fake, why does he do a shot fake?
Get me jumping.
Right, so would you jump? Yeah, you shouldn't jump, okay? Because you know what he's trying to do. So in this situation, wall up. If he shoots it and makes a shot over you, we live with that again. Great offense will always beat great defense, okay? Flip it over, one more demo. Hands up, good. All right, not too bad. Good job. All right, get a drink, boys. So we've kind of gone over now, I'm flying through a lot of things here. I'm just trying to give you a general overview of what drills we do at practice. And we do most of those drills every practice. Because in our program, we feel like athletes do enough games, enough team practices, and that's reps, local comp, school basketball, all right, that we need to offer them, not offer them something different, but we need to build those skills to be able to then play in that game situation. So a lot of our drills and our skills and everything like that is all based around your ability to play 1-on-1, 2-on-2, 3-on-3. And how can we improve those skills with pressure, right? Not just drills in isolation. So now we're going to go into some shooting, and we all have our different ways of teaching shooting, and that's the beautiful thing about our game. There's no right or wrong. We're just going to go over what we the areas and focus points of what we look at and what we coach when we talk about shooting. So I'm going to break it down to the very start, the basic of it, all right, and then we'll build it up to some shooting on the move. So everyone can get in this because you boys have been sitting down for a while, and I apologise. So everyone up. Everyone have a basketball. You're going to spread out, actually. Take your time. We don't avoid that. Spread out around the three-point line. Spread out around the three-point line. Actually, it doesn't matter. Let me rephrase that. Hold up so coaches can see what's going on here. Boys, let's just spread out down this white line and then down that white line so the coaches can see what's going on. Spread out, both. One person here. You guys are struggling. You ever get told to get in two lines at class before you go into a classroom? Do you go to school, Ramos?
Sometimes.
Sometimes. All right, so offensively, you're going to put the ball between your feet. Usually that, at a younger age, it definitely tells us what our shoulder width is. At an older age, because we get wider shoulders, sometimes it doesn't show exactly. But usually if the ball's between your feet and the feet have jammed the ball in there, that's usually our shoulder width. So our dominant foot is slightly in front of our non-dominant foot. Everyone okay with that? Our dominant hand, what we want to have is our elbow of our dominant arm or dominant hand is by our hip. And we want to have our fingers facing up to the roof, and we want to have wrinkles in our wrist. We're in a stance, bend our knees, bum down, back straight. So our 10 toes face the basket, our elbows by our hip, all right? Our wrinkles are in our wrist and our toes are facing up to the roof. So we call this load, right? The load position. So we're going to talk about 4 L's. Load, low, lift, lock. Load, low, lift, lock. Now when we talk about shooting, especially at an age group of 14, or maybe 16s and 18s, it's usually about taking away unnecessary movements that athletes do. So most athletes will start maybe the right, if I'm a left-handed shooter, I'll start the right side of my body and I'll bring the ball across and then up. Or you might see athletes do a big circle when they shoot it. It's about eliminating the unnecessary movements when shooting. So when we talk about shooting, we usually take things away, we don't add things on. So we're in a stance. We're not out of a stance, boys. Let's go. Okay? Elbow by our hip, wrinkles in our wrist, fingers up to the roof. Right? So from here, that's our load position. So we're going to be low, and as we lift, we want to be able to get up on our toes, lock our elbows, snap our wrist. Right? So our load, low, lift, lock. Now, if I said to Ramos, pass the ball, this is a balloon. Now, under 12 kids will love this little analogy. All right, this is a balloon. I want you to pop the balloon. Julian, this is a balloon. I want you to pop the balloon. Just with one hand. Oh my goodness. This demo's not working too well. Pop the balloon. Well done, Jack. Okay. So most people will pop the balloon using their index finger. We don't use our middle finger. We're not using our pinky. You might do that. Okay, you might do that. All right, but most of the time it's index finger. So we want our index finger when we shoot the ball to point towards the basket. A lot of debate on which two fingers touch the ball last, which finger touches the ball last. But most of the time, if your index finger's facing toward the basket, your middle finger's facing toward the basket. And to me, that's what we want. We don't want our fingers facing out to the side. So we're in our load position, load, elbow to hip, elbow to hip. So that's our load, we're ready. So it's load, low, lift, lock, and index finger faces the basket. Give me 5 attempts, go. We call this ghost shooting. So no basketball, just ghost shooting, working on technique. Load, low, lift, lock. Now some athletes will have fingers to the ground, some athletes will have index finger to the basket. I don't mind which one you teach. All right, I think it's important that we just have our fingers to the basket. Right, we've got the whole cookie jar, all right, index finger to the basket, that's fine. But we just don't want it facing out there, or we don't want no follow through. Right, once you've done that, pick up the basketball. Now, where our hands aren't big enough to start in the load position. So what I want you to do is you're just going to cup the ball. So our wrinkles are in our wrist. All right, we're in a stance, we're in our load position, sorry. And your aim here offensively is to lift and shoot up, and you want the ball to go up, come down, bounce, and then land on top of your hand. All right, that's your challenge. Now, you can't move your arm out of the way. You can't drop your arm to catch it. Ready? Go. So now we're working on height on the shot and backspin so it spins back to our hand. Height on the shot and backspin. And accuracy, as you can tell. Landed on top. Good. Good, hold there. So again, the reason we do a drill like that, one, it's fun. Kids like to see if they can do it. All right, and two, we have to generate backspin for the ball to bounce and come back onto our hand, correct? We have to get enough height on the shot for the ball to bounce high enough to land on our hand, correct? So it's probably teaching the athletes the two most common errors when shooting the basketball, right? One, they don't shoot it long enough, right? And most shots, when you stat someone's shots through the game, 75% of their misses are going to be short. They won't get enough on it. Kevin Durant has a great drill where whenever he practices, whatever drill he does, his scoring system is 1 point if it goes front of the rim and goes in, 2 points if it's a swish, and 3 points if it goes back of the rim and goes in. The reason why he wants to get his muscle memory, his focus on the back of the rim, is because in a game, there's a lot of external pressures and pressures that happen that can potentially help or have his shot fall short. Crowd, fatigue, pressure in the situation, clock, whatever it might be, defense. So he wants to try to shoot long every time at practice. So in the game, it swishes. Now, it doesn't always work, all right? But we want to try to train our muscle, our brain, to be able to shoot like that and focus on that. So a lot of coaches kind of go, where do you aim for? Front of the rim, right? Net, backboard, whatever it might be. We want to encourage our athletes to go back of the rim. Long misses are good misses. We okay with that? All right. So we're now going to add in our synchronizing of the jump. So our jump, because a lot of athletes can't jump and generate power for their jump shot. So give me 2 players up. You boys just go to the side, sit down, please. Pass the ball. Behind him. Stance. Hands on his shoulders. Right, so we're kind of getting, I guess, a little bit, not advanced, but some drills maybe you might do with your younger athletes, maybe you might not. It's great because it's teaching this player to use explosiveness and generate power from his legs and push through some sort of resistance. So the partner is going to have their hands on their shoulders with a little bit of resistance, not much. Your job is to start in our load position, so elbow to hip, right? Our index, where's your hip? There you go. Our index finger should face the basket. So right now, if we all spread our hand, coaches, let's try this. Okay, if you spread your hand, this doesn't work for everyone, all right? But you should find a perfect triangle if we slightly tilt our hand from our index finger to our thumb to our pinky. We want to try to have the point of the triangle, so as we hold the ball, so we want to have V's, not L's when we hold the ball, right? We want to have it slightly pointed, so there's a V. We want to have our index finger pointing towards the basket. So we've got our load position. If I look over the top of my hand, my index finger's in a straight line. So we talk about the plane of our shot. Now, athletes are either right eye dominant or left eye dominant. So here's a nice activity for you to do, coaches, as to figure out what eye dominant you are. If you were to make a little, put your hands together, pick a point opposite you right now, say the speaker on the wall, hold your hands up, look straight through it with both eyes open, both hands, close it a little bit so that target or whatever you're looking at just fits inside that target, or just that fits inside that gap. You're going to close your left eye. If you see it with your right eye, then you're right eye dominant. Then change eyes, so close it with your other eye. If you see it with your other eye, then that's what eye dominant you are. So I'm left-handed and I'm right eye dominant. So what that means is if I was to shoot the basketball, step out of the way, boys, so everyone can see. If I'm a left-hander and I'm right eye dominant, it just means I don't want to start it directly on my hip, on this plane and side of my body. Because I'm right eye dominant, if I go straight up to my left eye, my accuracies are going to be 100% correct. Right? And we'll never get 100% correct, but close enough to it. So what I'll need to do is just slightly move the ball across to the center of my plane. So now when I go up, it's closer to my right eye, because I'm right eye dominant. All right, now we're diving straight into like the mechanics and whatnot of shots there. All right, but it's a good little drill to do with athletes, because they don't know what eye dominant they might be. Come back. So hands on their shoulders, provide slight resistance. Now, I don't know what eye dominant Ramos is. He probably doesn't either. Left eye dominant. So he's got the ball slightly in the middle because he's a right-handed shooter. As you're lifting, so you want to be able to drive up through the shot. So finish up on our toes, load, low, lift, lock. You can release your hands. And he's not going to release the ball to start with because we just want to kind of get our jump first, synchronizing our jump. So it's this 5 jumps. So it's 1. Okay, then back down to stance, load. You might have another partner here just kind of going, yep, you're right, go. Okay, give me 5 jumps. So he's pushing through, load, low, lift, lock. Load, low. Good. Now once he's done 5, the partner can come and rebound. You're in a stance, right? So when you feel like he's ready to go, he's in a load position. Okay, now remember he's left eye dominant, so his ball's not going to be directly over in this plane, right? It's going to be more towards the center of his body. You could tell him to go. So you might just say lift, and now you're going to shoot the ball. Lift. Good, so when we release the ball, we want to release it at the top of our jump, not on the way down. Ready? Good. Now it's really tough because we're so close to the basket, jumping at the height and the power and whatnot he should be doing out here, right? But again, it's just building that muscle memory, all right? Our index finger needs to face where? Yeah, to the basket. So keep reinforcing those teaching points. All you need to say is index finger, which tells him to the basket, right? Load, low, lift, lock. Stance. Index finger. Good miss. It was long, but you're a good shooter, so swish it. Good. A little bit more height. As a coach, you want to keep reinforcing teaching points. Just because the ball's gone in doesn't mean it's a perfect shot. So always keep reinforcing coaching points, teaching points. And if he does a great job, let him know. Positive reinforcement. Good job. Well done, Thomas. All right. Now we can progress it out. So let's move all the way outside the three-point line. So now we're going to work on our feet into our shot, our footwork, but we're going to also work on kind of no unnecessary movement. So a lot of times when athletes catch it, they'll move the ball around, and they'll shoot it. All right, so this is a bit weird because you're actually not allowed to do this in a game, believe it or not. But you're in a stance in our load position. You're going to run in. So around about the free throw line, you're going to shoot the ball. And our footwork, because we're coming straight on, is going to be dominant foot second. All right, so our stance, we're right-handed. We run in. We want to go heel, toe, toe, feet shoulder width apart roughly, and then load, load, lift, lock into our shot. Good. Move back. Now here, teaching points, quicker feet, and I shouldn't be able to hear your feet hit the ground. We don't want heavy feet. We don't want that, right? It's got to be quick feet and light sound. Can't hear anything. Go. Good. That's not bad. The squeaky sound's all right. Ready? Let's go again. Quick feet. 1, 2. Get them in quick. Good. Rewind. And at this moment, you're looking for any unnecessary movement. Is he keeping the ball locked in? Good. Rewind. Now, this time the partner's going to start with the ball. As he runs in, you're going to throw in the ball. So we want to catch the ball on our finger pads, not our palms. So there's a distinct difference in sound when you hear them catch the ball with their palms and their finger pads. Now, I'm not going to demonstrate because I'll get it wrong. All right? So you're going to throw it as hard as you can. Just start here for me, Ramos. You're going to throw it to him as hard as you can. You're going to throw it and you're going to catch it with your palms. All right? Go. Go back. Now it's finger pads. Do we hear the distinct sound or difference in sound? So it's usually quieter, right? And we want to get on our finger pads, so it's in our load position, so it's a great pass, and you want to pass the ball to them when they're in the air. So as I'm in the air, you're going to throw it, I catch it, we're in our load position, low, lift, lock. Go back. Nice hard pass. First thing is to catch the ball. Right? We catch with our what? Eyes. Catch with your eyes, finger pads. Go. It'll be a bit too heavy, right? Finger pads. Let's go again. Stance. That was better. Nice sound. Right. So we're okay with forward in a straight line footwork, how to catch the ball, what our feet are like when they hit the ground. Now we're going to work at angles. So at different angles, our feet are different. Now, depending on your coaching, you might be dominant foot second every time. So if I go this way, you might be left, right. And if I go this way, you still might be left, right. You might go dominant foot second. That's okay as a coach. We want to encourage inside, outside footwork. So it's consistent either way. So I'm running this way. I go inside foot. So our inside foot is our foot closest to the split line. So left foot, heel, toe, toe, right foot, and then elevate into our shot. If I'm going to my left, my inside foot is my foot closest to the split line, the basket. It's my right foot, heel, toe, toe, square up, and then shoot the ball. So you're going to go one right, back pedal, you'll get the rebound, and then you go one left. Ready? Go. Continue to encourage quick footwork. Hands up. Index finger. Right, hold there. So ask questions. Second shot, what happened? So what do you need to do? Good, ready? Go. Continually ask them for their feedback to see if they're actually assessing their own shot. Most athletes have no idea how to do that. Good shooting. Now it's about consistency. Index finger, height. Oop. Right, hold there, great. That was another great example. Damien Cotter used to talk about a drill he would do, and the point system would be, you got to get 3 swishes in a row. If you were to fumble the basketball and then still get a swish, he would count that as a 3 in a row shot straight away. Because most athletes in the game, if they make a little fumble, their mind just goes wandering. They think, oh, I've made a mistake, game's over. So it's about them playing through that mistake. So teaching them to play through the mistake. So if you get a fumble, that's fine, get it, shoot it. There's no reason why you can't keep playing on a fumble. Ready? Go. Couple more. Good stance. Load, low, lift, lock. Hold that follow through. Last one. All right, hold that. Thank you. Press down. All right, could we please give the athletes a round of applause?